Hello everyone, and welcome to Play Games TV. Today I'd like to talk to you guys about a game that has me pretty excited that comes out on the 27th of March called Pixark. Pixark is an open-world survival game with procedurally generated maps created by publisher Snail Games. Snail Games also created another survival game in the not-too-distant past called Dark and Light. This is important because Pixark does have some Dark and Light influences in the game as well, but it's predominantly a mashup of those two games, Ark Survival Evolved and Minecraft. Pixark is going to have the dino taming, the dinosaurs in general, in the level-up crafting system of Ark Survival Evolved, combined with this carefree art style and the resource gathering system of Minecraft. In this video, I kind of want to just give you guys a brief overview of maybe what we can expect from the game, and there's not too much gameplay footage out there, but we're going to take a look at what is out there. Let's get into it. Now, one of the key components of Pixark is going to be taming, and one of the most immediate changes fans of the Ark franchise will notice in Pixark is a nearly complete overhaul of this taming system. You see, in Ark Survival Evolved, there are certain breeds of dinosaur that can take many tens of hours to tame, which require long hours spent in-game babysitting these tames waiting for them to finish. Many of the game's complaints stem from the fact that Ark becomes a sort of second job where players need to pour tens and even hundreds of real-life hours into the game just babysitting unconscious dinosaurs. The same dinosaurs can then be lost in a matter of seconds to a base raid or a poor gameplay decision. From what we've seen in a few gameplay videos that are available in Pixark, this could not be further from the truth. A brand new player is able to tame a relatively decent-sized dinosaur in less than 5 minutes just by hand-feeding it berries that were found from a nearby tree. Of course, larger tames such as Rexes will require knockout taming or knocking the dinosaur unconscious via sleepy arrows or other means before taming can begin. However, it is still speculated that even these more difficult tames will be measured in minutes rather than tens of hours. However, this does not come without a drawback. Unlike in Ark Survival Evolved, tame creatures in Pixark do not have indefinite lifespans. Smaller creatures may have a life of only a few hours, and even the largest will be capped at a maximum of 3 real-life days before they despawn from the game world. There are both pros and cons to this system. One can argue that the indefinite tames have led to Ark tribes amassing hundreds of useless tamed dinosaurs. That contributes to both server latency issues and player torment, as people must remember to log in and feed every single dinosaur each day to prevent it from dying. On the other hand, there's a certain feeling of nostalgia and attachment that players get over time to their favorite dinosaur tames. And with Pixark, this feeling will be gone as dino lifespans expire and they disappear from the game world. Now, another important element of Pixark is, of course, the creatures, and it's worth noting that Pixark will be launching with an in-game bestiary of 72 or more creatures, ranging from not only the dinosaurs that made the Ark franchise famous, but also many new additions as well, some of which coming from Snail Games' previous survival game, Dark and Light. Unique monsters such as the Centaur, Werewolf, Skeleton, Reaper, and Cyclops will all be present in Pixark, providing a great variety in the enemy creatures you'll encounter beyond just the standard dinosaurs. As in games such as Dark and Light or Minecraft, when night falls, the player will be in danger of being attacked by certain evil creatures such as zombies, reapers, or werewolves. It is believed that these can also be found in dark cave systems as well. This is not even to mention the different types of aquatic enemies players might discover, such as manta rays, megalodons, or anglerfish. This type of variety seems to be surprisingly ambitious to me, as we know many early access games like to cut corners. Pixark could very well have just launched with only a few dozen in-game creature types, but instead we have the variety of 72 plus we see here. As with any survival game, resource gathering is a core component in Pixark. Now, similar to Minecraft, players in Pixark will have complete control over their environment, with each individual world block being fully destructible and harvestable. Likewise, in similar fashion, players will then be able to use these building materials to craft buildings and bases shaped nearly any way they can imagine. Just the freedom to terraform your world and reshape it to your liking has kept millions of players glued to their computers for years in Minecraft, and Pixark will offer all of this same exact style of gameplay before even getting further into the RPG and competitive team building elements. Resource gathering seems to be heavily inspired from Minecraft, with players needing to use torches to explore deep dark cave systems, and certain in-game blocks having distinct and unique appearances, indicating that they may contain rare resources. Some resources, such as trees and plants, will respawn over time when harvested, but a majority of block-based resources will not, requiring players to continue to spread and explore more areas of their world as they deplete these resources, which leads us to our next topic. The Pixark world and biomes. Now, Pixark takes place in a procedurally generated world, meaning no two Pixark servers will ever look exactly the same. This means there will be no predetermined knowledge of one's surroundings, and each individual playthrough will be full of exploration and adventure. With biomes with names such as ocean, prairie, grassland, forest, swamp, desert, magic forest, icelands, dark forest, and doomland, it's clear that there will be a great variety in the game's scenery. Certain creatures will be tied to certain biome types, and there appears to be some type of portal system that can be used to teleport around the map, although this has still not been confirmed. While procedural generation means great news for people who like adventure and exploration, it also means alpha tribes will not be so readily able to bottleneck or to control well-known and advantageous locations on the map like in Ark. Map randomization also means random distribution of the game's creatures and resources, which may make it difficult for tribes with very heavy play hours to control all important elements and areas of the game world. And finally, folks, I may have painted this game in quite the positive light this video, but I do have some concerns as well. While I personally am extremely optimistic and excited for Pixark's release, it is imperative to be realistic and to address some potential concerns that the game may have. For starters, many gamers will be immediately off-put by the game's cartoonish appearance. I feel that this is mostly a non-issue, however, as every game is not hand-tailored for each individual player, and personally, I tend to sometimes even prefer this more cartoony art style to one that's overly realistic. My largest concern with Pixark, however, is server stability and the prevalence of in-game bugs and glitches. We have seen very little in-game footage of Pixark to date, and while the footage we've seen does look fantastic, that hasn't stopped survival games such as Conan Exiles, Dark and Light, and even Ark Survival Evolved itself from being entirely unstable and nearly unplayable upon launch. Survival games are often riddled with game-breaking bugs and exploits, such as item duplication, character invulnerability, and players teleporting around the game world, and even more. Playing on public servers where these exploits are being abused can be frustrating to those playing by the rules, to the point where many give up on the game altogether by the time these exploits are finally able to be patched. The alternative to this, of course, is to play on a more stable and easily regulated private server, but these can be pricey and they tend to lack the thrill of random PvP encounters that sometimes only public servers can provide. These potential worries aren't entirely specific to Pixark, however. They are more issues that plague the survival genre as a whole. I have hope that Snail Games can learn from some of the issues that made their Dark and Light launch such a rocky launch, and deliver a more polished product on the 27th. And folks, that is going to do it for this video. I do hope you found it to be somewhat informative. I'm really looking forward to Pixark. I hope it's not full of bugs, lag, and server problems, and I'm really excited to play there along with all of my community. We are going to be doing a 24-hour stream on launch day for Pixark, and I'd love to have you join us. Come check us out. There'll be a link to the Discord below in the description of this video, and you can see what our plans are there. If you guys like the video, please do leave a like, consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in game. Take care, everyone.